A roundup of the latest news now. Here are our top stories. Khan canned. In a huge upset, satirical political candidate Count Binface has been elected Mayor of London. A Venezuelan former politician convicted of embezzlement has been appointed to investigate corruption allegations against British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. We'll have a special report. And debris from China's Long March 5B rocket burns up over the Indian Ocean near the Maldives. We'll be speaking to China's National Space Administration. More on those top stories to come. First to the London mayoral elections and satirical political candidate Count Binface, created by comedian John Harvey, who has just been elected Mayor of London. The result has sent shockwaves throughout mainstream political parties. Count Binface, who wears a bin over his head and body armour, has policies which include preventing shops from selling croissants for more than £1, finishing the significantly delayed and over-budget Crossrail project, placing Sir David Attenborough or a statue of him on the 4th plinth at Trafalgar Square, getting London to rejoin the EU, tying government ministers' pay to the pay of nurses for the next 100 years, reinstating the old CFAX television service for households within the M25, speakerphones to be banned from use on public transport with offenders forced to watch the movie Cats every day for a year, the royal family to be allowed to keep one of Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, St James's Palace or Clarence House, with the remainder of the Crown's properties to go to the homeless. And should the royal family complain that one palace isn't enough, they will be forced to purchase Crystal Palace Football Club. And the hand dryer in the gents' toilet at the Crown and Treaty pub in Uxbridge is to be relocated to a more sensible position. With me to make sense of this highly unexpected result is political analyst Saul Ally. Saul, how did Count Binface win? Well, Bob, I think people were just a bit fed up of Sadiq Khan and his policies like the ultra-low emission zone due to expand in October 2021, the inexplicable presence of large flower pots blocking roads across London, illogical changes to bus routes, a strange love-hate relationship with Uber, and an inability to accept criticism. Yes, but why not, for example, Sean Bailey, the Conservative Party's mayoral candidate? Because people are fed up with mainstream politics, Bob. They're looking for something different, beyond the usual suspects. Plus, no one wants to pay more than £1 for a croissant, do you know what I mean? Saul, thank you. A Venezuelan former politician convicted of embezzlement, Carlos Andrés Rodriguez, has been appointed to spearhead the investigation of corruption allegations against British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The Prime Minister is accused of using taxpayers' money to finance the refurbishment of his flat, breaching ministerial code by offering to use his position as head of the Treasury to offer tax breaks to British entrepreneur Sir James Dyson in leaked text messages, and awarding £10.5 billion of contracts without a competitive tender process during the pandemic, with firms linked to the government 10 times more likely to be awarded contracts. The fact that Venezuela currently ranks 176th out of 179 countries on the Global Corruption Perceptions Index, making it one of the most corrupt countries in the world, has resulted in further criticism about the robustness and independence of the investigation. We were given exclusive access to a recording from the initial interview between Mr. Rodriguez and the British PM. Good afternoon, Senor Johnson. Very nice to meet you, my friend. So tell me, what is happening here, eh?
Hola. Did I say that right? No. You see, I've been accused of all sorts of preposterous things, all false, you understand.
Yes, I saw the list, senor. Longer than the queue of visa applicants at the US Embassy in Caracas. But don't you worry about a thing, my friend. Everything will be fine and dandy. Yes, correct this expression, fine and dandy.
Yes, very much so. I'm impressed with your English and knowledge of English idioms.
Okay, very good. But you are the idiot, eh? Not me. I'm not impressed with your fraud skills at all. I mean, how can you leave a paper trail with James Dyson, eh? It's ABC of corruption, my friend. Next time you have the conversation over the phone, okay? Same with the apartment refurbishment. As for the contracts, you need to make more effort to make it all seem legit, eh? Use shell companies, give kickbacks to others just to participate for show, okay?
Yes. I'm afraid I messed up with...
You can't say that again. If I am here to exonerate you, please don't make it such a big task for me, okay, buddy?
Absolutely, Carlos. Completely understood. Thank you.
In other news, China's Long March 5B space rocket launched on the 5th of May 2020, and part of China's space station project has had debris from the rocket re-enter Earth. China says the debris burned up in the atmosphere above the Indian Ocean near the Maldives, and online footage from Turkey and the Middle East appears to confirm these reports. There's been widespread media coverage in recent days about the safety levels of China's space program. With me to discuss the issue is Wan Bang, spokesperson for the China National Space Administration. Mr. Bang, what do you say to criticism of the CNSA and the idea that rocket debris should be disposed of safely shortly after liftoff rather than on re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere?
Hello, Bob. I think there's a lot of jealousy about the China space project, especially from major space power United States, which feels threatened because it was the only kid on the block, and now there's another kid they've got to share all the toys with. So it's no surprise that everyone's kicking up a shitstorm about the rocket debris.
Yes, but what about the notion that China could and should have disposed of the rocket debris safely shortly after liftoff? Why didn't that happen?
Listen, mate, there's been no reports of casualties, have there? We've got the whole thing under control. We manage the spacecraft on re-entry to ensure the debris doesn't land on populated areas. So the Yanks can get fucked as far as we're concerned.
Do you think there are potential safety concerns to be addressed in other areas of Chinese industry?
What are you talking about? Your iPhones are designed in the US and made in China. Guess what? Just about every fucking thing you own is made in China. So if you don't like Chinese safety standards, buy your shit from elsewhere.
Wayne, thank you.